Hi there, I'm Denise with thisismyeverybody.com, and today I'm announcing my September 2021 Book Your End of Summer Romance book giveaway, featuring 8 best adult romance books to read, all to be gifted to this giveaway winner. That's right, 8 books. Labor Day weekend often sets the scene for that last opportunity to have a summer romance. And whether you are ready to get out or you're still staying in, I've got 8 wonderful romance books for adults selections so that you can make sure that you are booked for your own end of summer romance. We're going to take a peek at each one of these books, which feature both contemporary romance books and historical romance novels. Plus, I'm going to give you all the details that you need about the Book Your End of Summer Romance book giveaway so that you can have a chance to win all of these romance books for yourself. This actually makes the September 2021 book giveaway my biggest giveaway of the year, or at least so far. The September 2021 book giveaway is in partnership with the following romance books and publishers. I want to say a very big and warm, special thank you to each one of these publishers, the authors, and each book's team for participating in this giveaway bundle. You are my everybody. So let's get started with taking a peek at book number 1, which is When Sparks Fly by Helena Hunting. Let's look at the story. Avery is living her best life between her friends, her sisters, and the event hotel her family owns. She doesn't have much time for anything else, especially relationships. She'd rather hang out with her best friend and roommate, Declan, than deal with the dating scene. But everything changes when she is in a car accident and needs someone to care for her as she heals. Declan also avoids relationships, giving him a playboy reputation that he lives up to when he puts a one-night stand ahead of a promise he made to Avery. While he may not have been the one driving the car, he feels responsible for her accident and is determined to make it up to her by stepping into the role of caretaker. The more time they spend in compromising positions, the more an attraction they've been refusing to acknowledge becomes impossible to ignore. But all it will take is a blow from the past to shatter it all. This one comes in at 320 pages. It's a contemporary romance set in the state of Colorado. And the sub-theme, the romance theme, also known as a romance trope, is friends to lovers. I'm really looking forward to reading this one with you, and this one is When Sparks Fly by Helena Hunting. Then moving to book number 2, we have The Dating Dare by J.C. Lee, and this one is from St. Martin's Press again. Thank you. This is J.C.'s book number 2 in her series, A Sweet Mess, as well. Let's take a peek at the story. No serious relationships. Boy, that seems to be the theme today, doesn't it? This is the one rule that Tara made for herself, and it has been working perfectly, thank you very much. But the occasional fling, oh, that's fine. So when Seth, temptation personified, who is planning to move to Paris in a month, so serious relationship is definitely off the table, walks into her life, Tara agrees to 4 secret dates just between them after a few good rounds of beer and a game of truth or dare. But their dates, while sweet and sexy, always hit roadblocks straight out of a romantic comedy. And the more Seth sees of Tara, what was supposed to be a fun little game for both of them turns into something that neither one of them saw coming. This one comes in at 314 pages. It's a contemporary romance book that's set in California. Romance theme, or the romance trope here, is going to be the dare or the bet romance, where a romance is simmering because someone dared the other one to do something. It's also a steamy romance novel, but very mild. Let me explain. I've actually read this one, and I think this is a perfect romance for readers who want all that steam simmering under the surface, but they don't want all the details. So I'm giving this one my Time Jalapeno rating of 1 jalapeno. Mild, spicy, but you're going to feel lots of steam underneath the surface. And this one is called The Dating Dare by J.C. Lee. Moving to book number 3, we have The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane from Atria Books and Simon & Schuster. Let's take a peek at the story. Dev always believed in fairy tales, so it's no wonder then that he spent his career crafting them on the long-running reality dating show entitled Ever After. Dev always scripts the perfect love story for his contestants, even as his own love life crashes and burns. Then they cast Charlie, who is far from the romantic Prince Charming Ever After usually expects. He doesn't believe in true love and only agreed to do the show as a last-ditch effort to rehabilitate his public image. In front of the cameras, he's stiff, an anxious mess, and behind the scenes, he's worse, cold, awkward, and emotionally closed off. As Dev fights to get Charlie to connect with the female contestants on their Whirlwind World Tour, they begin to open up to each other, and Charlie realizes he has better chemistry with Dev than any of his female co-stars. But even reality TV has a script, and in order to find the road to happily ever after, they'll have to reconsider whose love story gets told. This one comes in at 314 pages. It's a contemporary romance novel, and it's set in a reality dating TV show that actually goes on a world tour, so we're going to have lots of locations here. The romance trope here is going to be workplace romance as well as LGBTQ romance too as well. And this one is called The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane. And to book number 4, Along Came a Lady by Christy Caldwell from Berkeley and Penguin Random House. This one is actually Christy's first book in her new series, All the Duke's Sins. I'm already there. Let's take a peek at the story. Rafe lives to thwart his father, the Duke of Bentley, who abandoned him and his 3 siblings as children, but now claims he wants to make up for his failures and bring Rafe into English high society. But Rafe only cares about protecting the people of his mining community and providing for his 3 siblings whose been his sole responsibility since childhood. So far, Rafe has turned away all of the Duke's emissaries until the clever Duke sends the unlikeliest of people to convince Rafe to accept his offer, a bold and intriguing woman, Edwina, who has never failed a challenge. She's quite adept at successfully transforming young women to take their place in society, but now the tables are turned as she now needs to transform a young man. As the tenacious teacher and her domineering, stubborn, refuses to be taught pupil engage in a fiery battle of wills, their chemistry ignites, and the true lesson becomes clear. Opposites attract, and hearts must be heard. This one comes in at 316 pages. Obviously, we have an historical romance novel here. It's set in the Victorian era in England, and our romance trope here is going to be enemies to lovers romance. And this one is giving me a reverse My Fair Lady vibe too as well, so I can't wait to read this one. And it's Along Came a Lady by Christy Caldwell. And book number 5, 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Lewis from Atria Books and Simon & Schuster again. Thank you. Let's take a peek at the story. On a snowy evening in March, Noelle is on her way back from an event at her old college when a blizzard strikes. She finds herself stranded on the road, alone in her car, without food, drink, or a working charger for her phone. Noelle, you got to plan better than this, girl. All seems lost until Sam, a handsome American stranger, also trapped in a nearby car, knocks on her window and offers assistance. What follows is 8 perfect hours together until morning arrives and the roads finally clear. The 2 strangers part, positive that they'll never see each other again, but fate, it seems, has a different plan. As the 2 keep serendipitously bumping into one another, they begin to realize that perhaps there truly is no such thing as coincidence. This one comes in at 336 pages. It's a contemporary romance book set in England, and our romance trope here is going to be forced proximity romance, or what's called stuck together romance. In other words, the 2 characters are in a situation that they can't leave from. I'm looking forward to reading this one, and it's called 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Lewis. And book number 6 is Too Good to Be Real by Melanie Johnson. And this one is from St. Martin's Press again. Thank you. The story is, when impending layoffs threaten her job as a writer, Julia searches for the ultimate pitch to impress her boss and stumbles upon a resort offering guests an immersive experience in a fantasy rom-com world that brings your favorite romantic comedies to life. At the resort, Julia literally falls into an off-script meet-cute involving an aggressive seagull and an adorably awkward guy named Luke, who is also participating in the rom-com experience. Julia hides the fact that she is there to do a story, but Luke is harboring a few secrets of his own, too. Among further encounters with more thieving seagulls, a gaggle of corgis, kisses in the rain, and even a karaoke serenade, their feelings start to deepen. But could their love be real? And when they haven't even been honest about their true identities? And once the fantasy is over, can they have a relationship in the real world? This one comes in at 352 pages. It's a contemporary romance novel, and it's set in Wisconsin at an immersive experience resort. Our romance trope here is going to be a holiday romance. And I've actually already read this one, and all I can say is crazy seagulls plus rom-coms come to life. It adds up to a great summer read and a wonderful walk down memory rom-com lane. Clear your weekend now, because you're going to want to rewatch all of the romantic comedies that they touch on in this book. It's wonderful. And it is Too Good to Be Real by Melanie Johnson. And book number 7 is The Heiress Gets the Duke by Harper St. George from Penguin Random House again. Thank you so much. This one is actually book 1 of the series The Gilded Age Heiresses as well. So let's take a peek at the story. American heiress August Crenshaw has aspirations, but unlike her peers, it isn't some stuffy British lord she wants wrapped around her finger. It's Crenshaw Ironworks. She wants to run the family business. When it's clear that August's outrageously progressive ways render her unsuitable for a respectable match, her parents offer up her younger sister to the highest entitled bidder instead. But August refuses to leave her sister to the mercy of a loveless marriage, and the deal is made with August. Evan Sterling, the Duke of Rothschild, has no intention of walking away from the marriage deal either. He's recently inherited the title only to find his coffers empty, and with countless lives depending on him making this a success. But August won't go peacefully to her fate. She decides to show the Duke that she's no typical London wallflower. Little does she realize that every stunt she pulls to make him call off the wedding only makes him like her even more. This one comes in at 316 pages, obviously an historical romance novel. It's set in England in the Victorian era. And our romance trope is going to be heiress romance. It has a very strong and modern female lead at the head of the story, with just enough romance and angst to keep the home fires burning on this one, tipping it over into a steamy romance. But very mild. I'm giving this a Time jalapeno rating of 1 jalapeno. It has just enough of that racy factor that it does tip over into a steamy romance, but without all of the yikes factor of giving you all of the details too as well. Perfect for readers of historical romance books who are looking for just that right amount of spice seasoned in the story that makes it the perfect Goldilocks temperature. I absolutely loved it. And this one is The Heiress Gets a Duke by Harper St. George. In book number 8, The Devil in the Heiress, again by Harper St. George from Penguin Random House. And I'm so thrilled to tell you this is book 2 in the Gilded Age Heiresses series. So you're getting book 1 and book 2 of this. Thank you so much, Penguin Random House, for that bonus. Let's take a peek at the story. No one would guess that beneath Violet Crenshaw's ladylike demeanor lies the heart of a rebel. She intends to flee London and the marriage her parents have arranged for her now to become a published author. Christian Halston, Earl of Lee, has a scheme of his own. Aid and escort the surprisingly spirited heiress north and use every delicious moment in close quarters to convince Violet to marry him. Christian needs an heiress to rebuild his Scottish estate, but the more time he spends with Violet, the more he realizes what he really needs is actually her. But Violet has no intention of surrendering herself or her newfound freedom in a permanent deal with the devil or anyone else. It's going to take more than pretty words to prove his love is true. This one comes in at 300 pages. It's an historical romance novel set in the Victorian era in England. And of course, the romance trope here again is heiress romance and steamy romance novel as well. And the steam is rising in book number 2 in this series. Harper St. George is already becoming one of my favorite historical romance authors after reading these books. I truly appreciate that she writes such strong female characters as leads and also integrates women's rights issues into her storylines as well. Now for the steamy romance factor. The book number 1, I gave a 1 jalapeno, mild spicy 2. Well, that really got steamier in book number 2 with 3 jalapenos here, going up to hot spicy. And I can tell you that book number 3, which is entitled The Lady Tempson Heir, is scheduled to already be released in February of 2022. They can all be read as standalone books, no worries there, but I highly recommend that you start with book 1 on this, because when seams are about to be ripped open, you definitely don't want to have to go back and catch up on the foreplay, right? And that is The Devil and the Heiress by Harper St. George. And that's it. So let's wrap up with my book checklist for my Book Your End of Summer Romance book giveaway. We have 5 contemporary romance novels and 3 historical romance novels with a wide range of romance themes, also referred to as romance tropes, represented in the giveaway bundle. And the winner of this September 2021 book giveaway will receive all 8 books. No kidding. I'm so excited for you. So how do you enter the book giveaways? All you need to do is make sure that you're signed up in my Time Tribe via my website, thisismyeverybody.com. There's a link in my description below to sign up right away and be entered in my free book giveaways. So make sure you enter today, as the very special Book Your End of Summer Romance September 2021 book giveaway winner will be selected on September the 30th, 2021. Let me know if you've got any questions, and if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. That lets me know that you would like to see more book giveaways like this in future videos. Thank you so much for stopping by, and here are 2 more videos that you might enjoy watching next. You are my everybody.